Yo, 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 back once again with another movie review. I don't know why I did that, but it is what it is, man. Excuse me. Back once again with another movie review, man. Saw this movie about an hour ago. I actually tried to record this review like a couple of times and failed miserably. So I'm gonna try to do this short, sweet, to the point, and just be done with it. It is pretty late where I'm at right now. I'm ready to go to bed. I saw this movie pretty late, man. Uh, this movie review is going to be for Invisible Man. Came out this weekend. Now, this movie is getting a lot of great reviews. It's getting a lot of, like I said, just getting a lot of great reviews. A lot of people are enjoying it. A lot of people are loving it. The Rotten Tomato score from the last time I checked was a 91%. That is pretty darn high. And I was not expecting that high of a score from this film. Watching the trailer of this movie, I thought it was going to be, decent at best, I guess. I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought, whatever. But, seeing how many people liked it and stuff like that, I just like, man, I got to go see this movie now. You know what I mean? Just hearing a lot of good things about it. So just got back from seeing it not too long ago, and I see why a lot of people like this film so much. This movie is a really good film, man. It's really well done, really well made, well shot too. A lot of great scenes where it's just still, it's quiet. You're tense. You're just waiting for that moment that something is just gonna jump out at you, and it doesn't, and it just leaves you with that tense feeling. Oh man, the suspense, man. This is more like a suspense thriller, more so than a horror film. And like I said, the scenes in here, a lot of the scenes, you're gonna feel tense. You're gonna feel kind of like anxious. You're gonna feel a lot of anxiety, throughout this film because the way that it's shot, the way how it sets up certain things, you're just like, wait, what the heck is gonna happen? Like where's the Invisible Man? Like, is he gonna jump out? You know what I mean? And when it doesn't, when it just leaves you like that, there's a lot of scenes like that in this film where it's just quiet, and the main character is just walking around the room because she hears something and she's just trying to see what's going on, and you're just waiting for that moment. It's just something to jump out, whether it's a false jump scare or it's a jump scare from the Invisible Man. And it never happens. And it just leaves you. It just leaves you right there with that tense, like, oh man, I thought it was going to happen and it didn't, And it really did a good job at playing up to that. Like just playing up to the tension, playing up to the suspense. And like I said, a lot of scenes in this film did drag on, which is kind of like a downer for this film because I feel like they stretched this film a little bit too long, especially with certain scenes. I think a lot of scenes could have been cut a little bit shorter, but they was playing up to the suspense. They played it up pretty well, pretty well. The main character of this film, she did great, did an awesome job. I really loved her character a lot, especially at the end. I was just like, man, yeah, like, man, I think the ending of this film really made the movie for me because throughout watching the entire film, I was just like, it's good, but there's certain things that I had issues with, and I was kind of taken out with certain scenes, and I was just like, I still enjoy it, but I don't think it's like as good as what people say. But then, how it wrapped up and the ending, I was just like, that was satisfying. That was what I was looking for. Like this was good. This was good. And man, it's a really, like I said, it's a really good movie. Especially how it wrapped up. And I was like, probably one of the most satisfying endings I've seen in a movie in a while. And that's it's kind of saying a lot, you know what I mean? The supporting cast did great. Well, I shouldn't say great. They did a really good job. They did a really good job. I wouldn't say it was stellar or anything like that, but they did serve their role. I just love certain little plot twists here and there, things that I wasn't expecting to happen kind of, and I really like that. I really like the whole meticulous plan of, you know, the husband's character in the film. Like, you know, he's a very unlikable dude, but it's told from the perspective of his wife, you know, of the main character, the lead. And I kind of like that aspect of you getting to know the husband more through other people. Like, you get to know the husband more through the wife and the brother in the movie. There were certain scenes where, you know, the wife and the brother was basically, you know, having a dialogue back and forth because the brother is in control of the husband's funds. So they had to break down, you know, what portion of the money that the main character gets and whatnot. And of course, the husband's brother know him really well because they're related. And he's breaking down, you know, how his character is, and, you know, how, you know, he treated him the same way as he treated his wife. And, you know, it felt, in certain scenes, it really felt like the brother was speaking for the husband, you know what I mean? Or like the husband, like the brother knew what was going on the whole time. And it was revealed later on down in the movie. But like in those certain scenes, I really kind of liked how they kind of explained the husband's character through other characters. Like, it wasn't just like the husband talking in, you know, the invisible cloak, you know what I mean? Like, about his plans and whatnot. It was basically told through other people. And I kind of like that a lot. Going back to certain scenes where, you know, it was just very quiet. I really like those scenes a lot. Like the first 10 minutes of the film is very quiet, very calm. You're just hearing natural sounds of waters, sounds of walking, you know, it was just very quiet, just very peaceful and calm. But at the same time, it was very tense because the main character is trying to escape the husband's home without him knowing. So she has to wake up out of bed. She has to, like, you know, kind of sneak around, do certain things before she's able to escape. And this house is kind of like set up like a penitentiary almost, because it has like concrete walls around it. So she has to climb over the concrete walls to get to the other side. And the way how that whole scene breaks down, it kind of feels like she's breaking out of a prison. And I guess, you know, in this movie, her marriage was kind of like her being in a prison, because the husband that she's with, he's very manipulative, he's very controlling, very narcissistic, you know what I mean? But you don't see it because we don't have time to see that whole thing play out. It's just explained to you through the characters. And I kind of like that angle. I do like that approach. Trying to think of some other good things to say. Like I said, it's just a really good movie. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's a really good movie. Now, I did have my gripes with it. There were certain scenes that just didn't add up to me. Certain scenes with the main character and her sister, and the sister kind of like, you know, disbanding her. When the main character shows up to her sister's house, and the sister is like, well, you sent me a nasty email saying this, and this, and I just don't want to be bothered with you anymore. And the main character is confused, like, wait, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And the sister's like, yeah, you sent me a nasty email saying this, and this, and I don't want to be bothered with you. And she just didn't want to take her sister's word for anything. She just, you know, after reading that email, she just got so disgusted and just said, F you, and I'm out. Peace. Like, that whole scene didn't add up to me, because if you think about it, like, if your sister is looking the way that she looks, coming to your door, looking confused when you mention the email, you don't have the recollection to think twice, like, wait a minute, what if somebody sent the email through her email account trying to set her up? Like, this is your sister. Now, yeah, in the film, it is portrayed that these two sisters don't really have the strongest of relationships. They don't really get along too much. But still, you know, why would your sister send you something like that through an email? If anything, she would send you something like that through a text message, not through an email. So like, and for the sister to act like that, it's kind of, I don't know. I just didn't like how that whole scene played out because it just didn't make sense to me. Like, I know if my sister came up to me and, looking all distraught and looking all stressed and trying to like say, hey, I'm in trouble, I need your help, I need you to hear me out, and you going off on her because you got some email from her supposedly, and you don't even think twice about it, it's like, come on. Like, in reality, I don't think that will work. I just feel like people have a little bit more compassion in that. People could see, they could have a second thought. You know what I mean? They could be like, wait a minute, like something's not right here. Like, what if it wasn't really her that sent the email? Like, people could hack emails all the time. People hack emails all the time. You know what I mean? So that's not far-fetched. So to make it seem like the sister is lying and making it seem like, oh, she like nobody could send an email through her email account. It had to be her. It just had to be her. Like, I don't know. That whole scene just didn't work for me. And it kind of took me out the film a little bit because there was a couple of other scenes like that just didn't really add up to me. Like the one scene where the friend's daughter got hit and she blamed the main character for it. Now, when you watch the scene, like the scene shows the main character just sitting down talking to the daughter. And when the daughter gets hit, it didn't show the main character even making a motion towards the daughter to hit her. Like, she was still standing still when the daughter got hit. So as soon as the daughter got up and, she was able to like collect herself, she was like, oh, you hit me. And the way that she was acting, she made it seem like she was such the bad guy. And I was just like, wait a minute. Like, throughout the entire film, you see that these two characters get along really well. So why would you act like that? Now, I understand, like, somebody hit you and she's the only person in the room. You could kind of get confused at that moment. Like, yeah, maybe she did it, but like I said, like, she's looking at the main character. And if you get hit, of course, like, now she got blindsided. But to act like that as soon as you collect yourself, if anything, she should have been confused. She should have been like, yo, what the heck was that? Like, who hit me? Like, wait, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, I just got hit and I don't even know what the heck happened. Like, where did it come from? But she just went straight for the blame game and just blame the main character for hitting her. And like I said, how the scene was shot, it did not show the main character making a motion towards her to hit her or anything like that. So for the daughter to act like that, it just didn't make sense to me at all. It just didn't add up. That's just me. It just didn't add up. And then there was this one scene where she went for a job interview. Now, before that scene, she was rewarded $5 million for her husband's death, pretty much. So why does she need to go on a job interview when she got a boatload of money coming her way? Like I said, I don't know if I'm being nitpicky about that, but it was just certain scenes like that just kind of like took me out the film a little bit. And the scene where, well, I'm going to put spoilers in the title because this is a spoiler review. Now, the scene where the sister gets killed in the restaurant. Now, before she gets killed, they show a knife right next to the main character just floating in the air. And then the knife just cuts the sister's throat. And the knife kind of goes into the main character's hands. Now, I kind of understand people not seeing the knife floating in the air before it sliced the sister's throat because, you're in a restaurant, people are, with somebody else and they're having, an exchange and, everybody's distracted. So, of course, I could see people not seeing the knife floating in the air before it cut the sister's throat. But for the main character to grab it, I felt like maybe I need to see this movie again, or maybe I need to see that particular scene again. But like right after she cuts right after the knife cuts the sister's throat, like the main character held her hands, and I think she grabbed the knife, or the knife like just went straight to her hand. But I'm pretty sure I'm not sure, but if she grabbed the knife, why would you grab the knife at that moment? Because the knife was still in the air, just dangling in the air, and after it cut the sister's throat. So you could have just left it in the air, and you could have basically seen that, like, look, this wasn't me. Like, look, this knife is just hanging like this in the air. Like, who is holding this knife up? It ain't me. But you grabbed the knife, and now everybody's looking at you like you killed the person. It's just certain little scenes like that just didn't really make much sense to me. Like I said, with that particular scene, maybe I looked at it wrong. Maybe I need to see that scene again to kind of see like how the knife got into her hand, whether she grabbed it afterwards or the knife just went straight into the main character's hand. So I could be wrong in that particular scene, but like I said, there is other scenes within this film that kind of like took me out of the movie a little bit. But like I said, at the end, I think the end pretty much solidified the movie for me because, you know, when the main character got what she wanted, when she was stepping out, I remember when she was stepping out of the husband's house after she killed the husband, and like you could see the expression on her face. She wasn't like overly excited, but you could tell that like a huge weight was just lifted off of her shoulders because she was just in this very, very toxic relationship with this person. And now she felt so free. And like her expression, how that scene was shot, like I just love how that scene was shot because I felt it with her at that moment. It was just like, I could breathe again, like, whew, like, I did it. Like my demon is gone. And you felt that. I felt that a lot. I was just like, yeah, that was boss right there. That was a boss move right there. I really like that. That was one of my favorite scenes in the film just because of the character's expression after she did it. Like you felt that weight lifted off her shoulders because throughout the film, she's trying to tell people like, look, man, this dude is still alive. He's not dead. He's not, you know, who you think he is. He's just trying to get one up on me. He's trying to always make me seem like I'm the bad person by setting me up all the time. And no, this is one big setup because one of the big plot twists of the film is that the invisible man that's running around throughout the film trying to, you know, get her is actually the husband's brother. You know what I mean? And after that whole thing has been revealed, and after that whole thing has been found out, they go back to the house and they found the husband like locked up into like a basement or in a private room or whatnot. And when she's talking to the detective dude in the next scene, the guy's like, this is a pretty much closed deal. You know, the brother did it. You know, the husband is innocent. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have anything to do with this, but the girl's telling him like, no, like I know how he is. This is not like this. No, he set this whole thing up like that to make it seem like he was the victim and she was the bad person. Like throughout the whole entire film, she's just trying to persuade everybody like, look, this is not the dude who you think. This dude is not who you think he is. Like, he's always trying to get a leg up on me. He's always trying to control me. He wants me in his life at all times. He will do whatever it takes to have me. And he always controls the situation. And, like, look, just believe me. Just believe me when I tell you that this dude is messed up. He is narcissistic. He's a sociopath. He would do anything in his power to have me by his side, you know what I mean? And people did not want to believe her. You know what I mean? Did not want to believe her. And how she set it up in the end was just, man, like, just so sweet. So sweet. So, but pretty much wrap it up from there, man. I've been talking for like almost an hour because I recorded a couple other reviews on this film and it just didn't work. But I think I finally got this one down. So those are my thoughts about the movie. I think I pretty much got everything out the way. There is one more thing I want to mention, and that's with the whole, the studio who made the film, which is Universal. Now, in case you don't know, This is supposed to be the revamp of their whole Dark Universe. And if you don't know what the Dark Universe is, the Dark Universe is supposedly supposed to be like Universal's take on the MCU, kind of, where they take their movie monsters and kind of make it like a cinematic universe. So you will have like the Bride of Frankenstein, you will have, I guess, Van Helsing, you will have all those classic movie monster characters that, you know, we all know and love. Well, they're supposed to have their own cinematic universe. And The Mummy, which came out almost 3 years ago, was supposed to be the original first movie to kick off that whole Dark Universe thing. But since that movie went to shit, the whole Dark Universe idea kind of got shelved a little bit. So I guess they recollected their thoughts and kind of like, okay, how are we going to do this whole thing again? So this is supposed to be like the revamp of the whole Dark Universe. And I gotta say, this is a great start to it. Now, it does look like the Invisible Man will be the Invisible Woman, because how it ended, pretty much, like, it looks like she's gonna take on the role of this invisible character. And that's gonna be pretty interesting to see, especially if they do make other, you know, films within this supposed universe, like the Bride of Frankenstein. Like, how will the Invisible Woman play into the Bride of Frankenstein, and, you know, how will she interact with the other movie monsters? I guess we just gotta wait and see, man. We just gotta wait and see. But I just feel like this is a good start to the revamp of this whole dark universe idea. It's a pretty cool idea if it's done right. And with The Mummy, it wasn't done right with that. So I'm glad that they went back to the drawing board and kind of like rethought things, and, you know, we got a great film out of it, man. So I think I'm gonna just pretty much wrap it up from there. My next review to look out for, Bloodshot. I think Bloodshot definite next film review. I was thinking about seeing The Way Back with Ben Affleck, which comes out next Friday. But I just saw the trailer for that when I saw this movie, and I don't know. I don't know about that one. Maybe, you know, after seeing some reviews or seeing what the review score is for that movie, and if it is high enough, like how this one was, where it was just like surprising, I may go check it out just out of like curiosity. But the trailer didn't really grasp me like that to where I'm like, ooh, I gotta go see it. It was just like, I don't know. I could skip that one. So be on the lookout for Bloodshot. I still got other reviews in the can. Still got other reviews on the backload that I gotta upload that I still haven't uploaded yet. So those will be coming soon. Probably as soon as, you know, I upload this one. I'll probably upload the other ones right after. So that's it, man. I'm long-winded. I gotta go to bed. It's after 2 a.m. where I'm at right now. And yeah. So till my next one, man, I still don't have an outro. All right.